Okay.
Hey everybody, we are so excited that you have joined us for our One Simple Change event tonight, and we're going to share some information that has really made a big difference in each of our health. And I asked Mallory to come on and share with us how Juice Plus has made that difference and how this making one change has impacted her whole family's life. So can you share with us, Mallory?
Sure. So I'm really glad Chris is here because Chris really is the catalyst for why I got on Juice Plus.
Yeah, yes, because of my immune system, which has been so sensitive since we've been going all over the country just to find a curable treatment for it. And we gone from California to Arizona. It was so long until I came in the Juice Plus from like last year and senior year, and I got into it, and then now I'm taking it in college, which is helpful, really, really helpful.
That's awesome. So like Chris said, which is amazing, is he's the reason that I even found out about Juice Plus, which is so cool, or I even thought about using it for him. Because I wish so much, I was thinking about this yesterday, the salad in a jar party. I wish so much that I had known about the power of this back when he was little. We moved back to Dallas from abroad, and he got so sick with ear infections, and he was banging his head on the floor all the time, and he would get shots while he wasn't all the way healed, and his all of the cognitive side of him got really compromised, and his immune system basically was fighting against him. So we went out west and used a bunch of kind of a drug way to help him, pharmaceuticals, and that didn't help him too much. And we did that so many years, and he would just take a handful of all these drugs, and I was just like, "You look like a drug addict. We got to stop this." And then we found a place in Phoenix where this doctor was helping us, and she gave him a bunch of supplements, but they're all vitamins. So he basically had excessive urine. And then finally, my friend from college shared a way to flood his body with fruits and vegetables, and she kept talking to me about how that would really help his immune system. And she invited me to this Facebook event, and there were these really cute blonde-headed moms that were giving it, and I was like, well, they look pretty cool. I mean, they look normal. I might listen to this one. And so I did, and it was Julie Herbst and Sharon Farrar, I think. And so I listened, and I think Dr. Sears was part of it too. And I started to think, well, maybe we'll just give this a try. And I did. And ever since, Chris it's been like 17 months. And the minute he started, he was like up, ready to go in the morning, much different than trying to like pull him out of a zombie world. And his acuity was better, and his mood was better, and he rested better. And then I started doing it, taking Juice Plus, and it was like, wow, I felt like I don't know, I just wasn't as tired. I slept better. And my digestion started to work finally. And then my kiddos took it too, my other kids. My daughter out in college in LA, she ate so poorly, and not to blame her, but she just didn't really know what to do. And this has really helped her, and specifically with her digestion. And then my little son is 11, and he's like, he knows so much about nutrition that he's like the non-GMO kid. So anyways, it's just been a catalyst for our family. It's made the hugest difference. And it's like our awareness. That was the one simple change, and we are radically transformed as a family. And there's a big community of us out there, and we both wanted to join the mission of inspiring healthy living. So Chris and I are partnering together. So that's our story, and we're sticking with it.
Dad's been on that already.
Oh yeah, and his dad is also taking it, and it's helped him a ton.
Good. Well, Mallory, it's been fun to watch your family's transformation, and you guys have come a long way, and it's one small step at a time, and yet 17 months later, you're at a totally different place than you were before. So it's really with that passion that we want to share with other people tonight what some of those changes were for you and also for me. And then Joni's going to share with us her family's story once we wrap it up, and she'll close it. So I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you guys my PowerPoint that we're going to go through here together. And all righty. So we'll just start here with what does good health mean to you? So eating healthy, being fit, lots of energy, and preventing disease. I think you did a great job, Mallory, of showing, what this meant to us as you were making changes and how that has changed your family's life. I'm trying to get it to where it's just me so that we can see me. Am I the one that comes up first, Joni, or is it Mallory that you're seeing first? Okay, I'm not sure. I'll just take both of those off since it's kind of distracting. But what does good health mean to you? If I were to have told, or if you had asked me 13 years ago if we ate healthy, I would have said yes. And I really thought that we did. But the truth is, we were right on the edge of a health crisis and we didn't even know it. We had become so used to being sick and tired. That had become our normal. My husband had chronic pneumonia. I was tired all the time. And we ate salad when we went out for dinner, or I had green beans from a can. So therefore, I ate vegetables. I thought we were healthy. And it wasn't until we started to get our health back after we started flooding our body with these fruits and vegetables that we realized how far from vitality we really were. My husband was fit because he was in the military, but neither one of us had energy. And when we had never even thought about preventing disease, I always thought that you got heart disease or cancer because it was in your genetics, but there wasn't anything you could do about that. And it was once I started to learn that there was something I could do that I really started to make these changes, just like Mallory was saying, one small change at a time. And it was absolutely worth every change, that because we are different people 13 years later. My husband has never gotten even bronchitis again. I don't have to take a nap in the afternoons. I use Juice Plus as my prenatal with both of my kids. And, I'm just very thankful that we've had this in our bodies year after year after year. And like I said, it's with that passion that I want to share it, because really the state of America's health is in a very poor place right now. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men will have cancer. 1 in 3 will have diabetes. 1 in 3 is obese. 70% of Americans are on 2 or more prescription medications. 80% of U.S. teens are eating diets that put them on a clear path to heart disease. If we had never done anything 13 years ago, our health wouldn't be better 13 years later just by chance. It's gotten there because we've made steps in the right direction, and that's what we want to encourage you with tonight. So our striking reality is this, that 90% of the food eaten in America is processed. It's really not even food. If bacteria cannot grow on your food, if mold is not able to grow, that really should say something. And I just put a cheeseburger up in the cabinet and wrote on the bag, and 2 weeks later it's just hard. It's turning to plastic. It's not molding. There's not bacteria in it. If you were to take a hamburger that you made and put that in the cabinet in a bag, 2 weeks later your kitchen would start to stink. It would be really bad. You would know there's a difference. So let's not confuse packaged food with real food. So we live in a time where children are harmed more by poor diet than exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. And experts agree that 75% of disease are preventable through good nutrition. So the real question I think most people ask is, what equates to good nutrition? Because if it's not packaged food, even though there's a lot of things that say natural or healthy, if it's not those, then what is it? And how do we know? Well, I love Dr. David Katz. He came up with the program. He partnered with Juice Plus years ago, and it's a program called Nutrition Detectives. And here's 5 different things that he encourages us with. First is, don't trust the front of the cover. It's been packaged to deceive and to make us think that it is healthy. The first ingredient is always the biggest. So when you're looking at the label, don't look at necessarily the carbs, the fats, the sugars, that type of thing. Look what's in it. What are those ingredients? And the first one is going to be the most in that package. You want to identify the harmful ingredients: high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils. Those are just a few. And if it's a really long ingredient list, you want to avoid that as well, because that means they're having to put a lot of fillers and preservatives into it. You want to also also look for 2 grams of fiber or more. Again, that's going to mean it's coming from a real food source. And those are just some good guidelines as you're out shopping and you want to shop the perimeter of the grocery store. You've heard that before, and that's because if the electricity went out in that grocery store, everything in the middle is going to be okay, even weeks and months later. But within a couple of days, everything on the outside of that grocery store is going to begin to rot, and that means it's real food. So I just minimize my contact with the inside of the grocery aisles and try to shop the perimeters. Buying produce first really helps me make sure I've got even more into my cart, because I don't have a lot of other things. I'm not already mentally tallying up how much money I've spent. It's like a fresh, it's a clean start, and I find that I will buy more fruits and vegetables if I shop the produce section first. So real food doesn't have a label. Again, this is an example of how that food looks. There's a watermelon. After 80 days, it should rot. It should mold. Bacteria should be able to eat that. And here's day 1 and day 180 from a hamburger with French fries. And so, again, that just shows we really have to be careful that we're not, thinking that we're giving the kids a treat and feeding them McDonald's. It's not a treat. And, maybe it's okay every once in a while, but I know a lot of kids that this is what they live off during the week. And we cannot expect their bodies to perform and to be able to heal and work like they're designed to when it's given fuel that really is not food at all. So the road to good health, what is that? What does that look like? Well, there are 150 doctors researched 4,500 studies on what keeps us healthy. And the only common denominator was a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. It was those plant foods that make a difference in keeping us healthy and preventing disease. So here's a good rule of thumb. You want to fill half of your plate with fruits and vegetables. And if you count that fruit, vegetables, and greens, you'll see that 3/4 of the plate is from a plant source. Protein is the smaller portion, and it should be that. Typically in America, we have a very large portion of protein and then maybe one vegetable, but fruit is typically reserved for breakfast sometime or maybe a snack in the afternoon. This needs to be incorporated 3 times a day. We're supposed to be eating anywhere from 7 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies every single day. That means in every meal and in between to be able to get those in. So like I said, we just need to be really careful about that and be mindful of it, of making sure we're getting enough. It's 7 to 9. 7 is the minimum for kids, 9 is the minimum for women, and 13 for men. Okay, so let's look at this. Oxidative stress is linked to poor health. And I've heard oxidative stress before and antioxidants, but I really didn't understand what they meant and how they worked. But Dr. Bruce Ames says that in each human cell, the DNA is hit about 10,000 times a day by mutagenic oxidants. And he says that not eating enough fruits and vegetables is the same as standing in front of an X-ray every single day. Like, none of us would take our family and go stand in front of an X-ray every day. I mean, that just seems crazy. We know that that's not harmful. But if we really understand that not eating enough fruits and vegetables is the same damage as that X-ray every day, it should make us think twice about that. Okay, so look at those cells. A normal cell, the one in the middle is attacked by the free radicals or the oxidative stress, and that end cell is very stressed out. And what is the protective barrier? Just like the apple there at the bottom, half of it has lemon juice on it, which is an antioxidant, and the other half does not. That is, that shows that there's wrinkling, it's aging, it's decaying, and unfortunately, we can't just rub lemon juice on half of our face and keep it young like that other side. But what we do put into our body, that antioxidants that we eat, it does help to protect our skin cells and help slow down that aging process, just like with the apple. And that's our cell's defense. It comes from fruits and vegetables. So that's why it's so important that we make sure we get those in each and every day. That is our defense, and they come from fruits and vegetables. They provide those antioxidants needed for healthy cell performance, and there's nothing else that we can do that gets that. Not dairy, not meat. It has to come from plant sources. So many people realize that their diet's just lacking in nutrients and that they're not getting enough of what they need. And so they tend to rely on a vitamin to fill that gap. But if you look here at this list of what's in one apple alone, there's over 11,000 nutrients in one apple, in just one apple. In a multivitamin, you're going to get 30 at best, and those are chemical renditions. So when people say, is Juice Plus a vitamin? I wholeheartedly say no, it is not a vitamin. It is a whole food supplement. It is all those fruits and vegetables in there, and you're getting the nutrients from those fruits and vegetables, just like this apple. 11,000 in one apple. Okay, so we cannot duplicate that and expect the same thing to come from a multivitamin that's a chemical rendition of those nutrients. And remember, I talked about how many we're supposed to be eating. The average American consumes less than 2 servings a day. We should get up to 13. Like I said, 2 to 13, that's a huge difference. So we're still not eating enough of those. And if we're trying to bridge the gap with vitamins, we're missing the mark. So what do? We're going to talk about bridging the gap with one simple change, just one thing that you can start today that will make a big difference in your health. And that's what Mallory was talking about. This was also the catalyst for us. Once we started to flood our body with these fruits and vegetables, we were able to add one more good change on top of that. And this is a picture of a tower garden. If you're interested in growing your own fruits and veggies aeroponically, this is a really neat system, and we can give you more information out there and direct you to it. And then we're going to talk about the Juice Plus and the Complete as well. So I'm going to read to you the ingredients that are in the Juice Plus and the Complete. The Complete is all plant-based smoothie mix. Just be thinking about, as I'm reading this, if you had this in your diet every single day, how would this impact your health? We have acerola cherries, alfalfa sprouts, amaranth, apple, artichoke leaf, beets, bilberry, blackberry, blackcurrant, blueberry, broccoli, broccoli sprouts, cabbage, carrots, chickpea, cocoa, Concord grapes, cranberries, ginger root, garlic, grapes, green tea, millet, oats, orange, papaya, parsley, peas, peach, pineapples, pomegranate, prunes, pumpkins, quinoa, radish sprouts, raspberries, rice, soy, spinach, and spirulina. Oh, that's a lot. Can you imagine that in your body every day, fighting for you, those antioxidants and nutrients, going to work to be the defense against that oxidative stress on your cells, day in and day out, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. This is an easy compliance that you can stick with over the long run, not a diet that has a short-term benefit. We're talking a lifestyle change that can make a big impact for the next 20 years. Juice Plus is 30 different whole foods. It has a food label, not a supplement vitamin label. Phytonutrients, non-GMO ingredients. It's dairy-free, gluten-free. It's NSF certified, which means there's a third-party company that regulates what's on the bottle is in the capsules, and what's in the capsules is on the bottle. The clinic research that's on Juice Plus is just really second to none. Clinical means those studies have been done with humans when people take it. We've got 30 published clinical studies, now up to 35 of them that have been printed with Juice Plus. I've never found even one company that has one clinical study that's been published on their product, and we have over 30. It's really just incredible. The Complete is naturally low fat. It's low sugar, low glycemic shake mix, which is great for somebody that's like, let's say, diabetic. It's plant-based protein. It has chickpea, peas, rice, tofu, and soy. The fiber blend is rice bran and apple fiber. And then it has these ancient grains and sprouts that I've never put into our diet outside of Juice Plus. And the Complete: amaranth, quinoa, millet, radish, broccoli, alfalfa sprouts. Now, one of the things I love about the Juice Plus Complete is that I've never gotten tired of it. I drink one almost every day for the last 12, 13 years, and I crave it because it's real food. And it's just such an easy way to start the day out. It's an easy breakfast for the kids. It's a great workout either pre or post. I drink half of mine before I go work out, and then the other half when I get out. My son plays baseball, and he uses it as a after workout. After practice, and before workouts in the afternoons. He just shakes it up with water and finds it to be very helpful as well. Let's touch on these medical journals that I mentioned. Juice Plus has been shown to contribute to cardiovascular wellness, supports a healthy inflammatory response. That inflammation can be in your gums, in your brain, your joints, and we know the lower your inflammation is in your whole body, the healthier it is. Supports quality of life in ovarian cancer survivors. That study was done at MD Anderson Cancer Center. Reduced insulin resistant overweight. Supports lung health in smokers. So we're not saying, hey, smoke, but think about it. It's even able to help support their lungs and help them be healthier lungs even while they're smoking. So imagine what it can do for those that are not smoking and don't have that damage continuing at that rate. It supports healthy skin and gums, supports immune health, helps protect DNA, reduces oxidative stress, and it's actually absorbed by the body, unlike most multivitamins where just like Mallory said, her son was not even absorbing those nutrients. So it's because of this research that thousands of leading health professionals around the world support Juice Plus. They not only take it themselves, they give it to their families and they recommend it to their patients. And we're just really thankful to have them on board with us. And, it's great to learn from them. But I've heard many of them say they wouldn't even touch it without the research because they are liable for what they recommend. And so they have to know that what they're recommending is going to be helpful and beneficial. And because of the research with Juice Plus, they can soundly do that. This is another study that was a little bit different of a study. These were with participants, children and adults, 200,000 of them that were taking Juice Plus. And here are some things that we found after a year of them being on. 50% were taking fewer over-the-counter and or prescription drugs. 60% were missing fewer days of school. 61% were eating more fruits and vegetables, and 66% were visiting the doctor less. Just a couple of those things really means money back in my pocket. If I'm not having to pay copays to doctors, if I'm not having to miss work when my kids are out of school because they're sick, or having to buy cough syrup and Tylenol and fill prescription medications, that's money back to me. And I love that 71% of them were consuming less fast food and soft drinks. 71%, that percentage is an awesome percentage in my mind. If we can reduce that fake food that's in their bodies and start replenishing it with this good source of nutrients, just think how that's going to impact their taste. They're wanting to eat more fruits and vegetables after taking Juice Plus because their body begins to crave it. We see that over and over again. This health study actually helps children be able to get on Juice Plus for free. So kids age 4 through 18 and full-time college students are able to participate in this study. And if you'd like more information on that, please get with whoever it was that shared Juice Plus with you tonight and inviting you to listen with us, and they can tell you more. So Dr. Richard Du Bois says, after looking at all of the research done on Juice Plus, I recognize that there is nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been shown to do all of those things in the human body. I love that statement. And Dr. Du Bois is the former president of the Georgia Society of Internal Medicine and the Infectious Disease Society of Georgia. He was actually one of on the forerun of all of the research that was being done with HIV and AIDS when that became an epidemic in the 80s. So when he speaks, we listen to him. And I love that he says there's nothing else available anywhere else that can do what has already been shown to do with Juice Plus. I just think that's such a strong statement, and one that we need to not take lightly. So my computer's, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about jumpstarting your journey. And first of all, the easiest compliance is to invest in your wellness with Juice Plus, the capsules and the complete shakes. We highly recommend doing both of those at the same time. The amount of nutrients that your body gets flooded with, it's amazing the changes that happen very quickly. And then we encourage you to adopt one simple change each month. So we call these the core 4: eat more whole foods, Maybe it's drink more water, get to bed earlier, stress less, get more exercise. Some of those are easy things you can just be more mindful, especially drinking more water. As you add Juice Plus and the Complete, your body starts to crave that water, and that's going to be an easy one to add as well. So just think, what other change can I make? And as a group, we do this too. We call it the One Simple Change, and we have Facebook groups that I'll share with you here in a minute. Juice Plus costs about the same as a cup of gourmet coffee. I love that none of our products cost any more than what you would buy for a cup of coffee at Starbucks, even if you added those together. $2.50 a day for the trio, the fruit, vegetables, and berries. And I think it's about $2.05 a day when I do the shake with the shipping and tax to my house. So that's $4.55 a day. Like I said, less than a cup of coffee from Starbucks. And I'm able to get over 47 different fruits, vegetables, berries, whole grains, all of those real foods into my body and into the body of my family. So here's some more One Simple Change ideas. You want to eat green vegetables twice a day. Drink a nutritious smoothie each day, stretch for about 10 minutes a day, sleep for 8 hours each night, reduce dairy intake, 2 salads a day. We're doing that a lot easier with these salad jar parties that we've been doing. I highly encourage you to join us. Eat an apple a day or do 25 push-ups. Go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm happy with just being at the gym 3 days a week. But making these changes really help move you along in the right course. And this is really where this comes in, is to connect with like-minded people. And it's important to have a support community anytime you're making any changes. And I have to tell you, our community is one of the best that I've seen in really encouraging us with information and ideas. And we all post on Facebook together. Right now we're doing Go Green, and we have a contest on our Facebook page. Anytime you eat something green, to take a picture of it. And then we've got a cool food chopper that will be named John to win that at the end. And we did a Yo-Nana machine last month. So it's just really encouraging for all of us to be mindful of that and encouraging us to keep moving down that road. So our company's motto is to inspire healthy living around the world. And I know that's where my heart is. You heard that passion in Mallory's story as well. And so I want to open this back up to Joanie so that we can hear from her family story as well. So Joanie, I'm going to go ahead and have you start talking and see if I can get it off the screen here. Okay, go ahead, Joanie.
Okay, can you hear me? I'm unmuted.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, because I see you. I guess that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know, but anyways, Stacy's actually the one that shared with me, and it was 10 years ago. So I'm thankful that you did, Stacy, because you didn't know my family's history. And when you were talking, I was just kind of reflecting on thinking about my senior year. I went to Indiana, where I'm from, to visit my grandfather because he was dying of cancer. And I remember that at that time having to make the decision to either go visit him knowing that he was dying, or spend my summer or my spring break going to Florida with my friends. And I'm just glad that I chose to go see my grandfather, because he died a couple of years later. And that was my last time seeing him, and I was 17. And it was colon cancer. So it was really a wake-up call for me personally at 17, just thinking, what could I do with my health? And all I needed to do was turn to fitness. So I worked in gyms, and that's really what my background is fitness. And I really knew nothing about nutrition and disease. You know, it's sad to think that I was in somewhat of the health world and have spent the past 25 years in the health world. I've worked in a hair salon. I worked as a chiropractor, personal trainer, and then I was even in the military for 6 years in public health. And I still had no training on nutrition. It blows my mind, and it saddens me. So in my 20s, I actually had my own health crisis where I was diagnosed with shingles. And to be in your 20s and for your doctor to tell you that was a scary time for me. I really didn't know what was going on, because I thought only old people got shingles. You know, I didn't know. But then when I thought about it, I actually had chicken pox twice as a kid. So my immune system was already compromised And I really feel like after getting shingles, my immune system just took a crash. Like that was it. I was tired, and I really didn't know that I was in this serious health situation. And I joined the military like that. So I remember being in the military, trying to make it through all my training and popping caffeine pills, doing whatever I had to do, and taking Tylenol PM at night to sleep. So then I ended up getting out after 6 years because I had a family and I had kids. And my 1-year-old daughter is my wife, Josie. She was just in here. But I remember talking to Stacy about, what do I do? She's not using the bathroom, and Stacy gave me the little capsules, the Juice Plus capsules, whole food. And she said, sprinkle this in her applesauce. And so after a couple of times of doing that, Josie started using the bathroom. So my husband and I were very curious about, what is that? And so I went to a presentation to her home, similar to this, except for you guys didn't have to leave your house tonight. So don't you love technology? And I learned more about whole food. I learned more about the beauty of us being able to heal our own bodies. And so for me, I feel like my family's best yes is Juice Plus. And we've been on this journey for 10 years. And I'm still amazed to think that something like this exists with science and rock solid research. But I'm also amazed to think that we've stuck with it. Stacy said 12, 13 years for her family. And Mallory, you guys are over a year now. But to actually stick with something for 10 years blows my mind. But you know what I love now? I love that I'm not taking Josie to the doctor, because I didn't even mention, not only was she having her tummy issues, but she also was having ear infections. And I really felt like I was taking her to the doctor every month because of her ear infections. And I hated giving her the antibiotic, the pink liquid. I hated doing that. And my son, he was cute. And if I would have let him, I love the Children's Health Study results, because if I would have let Seth, he would have eaten chicken fingers, candy, and chips. That would have been his diet. He would have eaten that all day long. But you know what? I got to give him those little gummies, and he still eats those little Juice Plus gummies. And so I'm thankful that Stacy cared enough about my family to share a better way. So thank the person that shared Juice Plus with you. And if this is your first time hearing about it, then be grateful, that someone invited you to hear this message, because guess what? For me personally, I was never regular going to the bathroom. And so I also was tired all the time. And that makes a wore out mom once you're dealing with your kids having, the same kind of health stuff. I just passed those habits down. And so, my kids are 11 and 12 now. And now I wake up, and I get to wake up with purpose, and I get to wake up with passion, and a mom that feels good. Like we were just playing basketball outside a couple of hours before this event, because I can. Because I have my health and I have vitality, and those shakes are amazing. I actually made some protein healthy peanut butter balls out of them, because the shake powder is plant protein. So where else are you going to get plant protein? Where else are you going to get all those antioxidants in your system? I don't know.
I don't know either, Joni. I agree with you. And I really stop and think about it. Like, if somebody took my Juice Plus away, what's the first word that comes to my mind? And it's really like panic. Like, how else am I going to get this done? So I know we're about to get kicked off here, but we just wanted to thank everyone. We'll hop back on once we're finished. If you've got some questions, you can jump back on with us. And we just thank you so much for joining us tonight. You guys are the best. Thank you, Mel.